All right, so for the lab today, you're going to go into lab 11 and open the lab 11. And you'll see, you have the traditional information of connecting to the server, information about the file share. We've already created this Kali VM. If you haven't done that, make sure you do. You already downloaded the ISO. Now let's go into our other Kali. So mine's Kali 2. And let me show you how we can attach that ISO. So if we go to connect, and then we want to go to media, DVD drive, insert disk, ISOs, Kali Linux, and don't double click it, just single click it, then click open, and that will take us into the installer. So now when we start this, it will go into Kali, and we want to go down to install. Don't do the live versions because you won't have access to everything that we need. So click on install. All right. And these steps are screenshots all throughout the lab that will show you what you need to do. Install Kali. You can give it the host name of Kali. So I'm going to select English, United States, American English. It will load some components. All right, and let's do this together. So hopefully you're doing this while we're seeing it here. We're going to give it the host name of Kali and the domain name of CNET.lab. So let's get to those screens. Just take a couple minutes. Okay, Kali's already there, so that's good. CNET.lab for the domain. And you just hit enter and it will go. The root password, we want to use our good old CNET 2021 exclamation point. And we confirm that. Configure the clock. Make sure you select Pacific. All right, so let me go to the lab, make sure we're there. Pacific time zone. And then we're going to say use the entire disk. So click Pacific. And this is going to kind of run. And we're going to say guided use entire disk. And it's SCSI. Note that all the data, and that's okay. And then we're going to say all files in one partition. And then finish in partition and write changes to disk. And then we're going to say partition disk, write changes to disk. We're going to say yes. So it's on no. Make sure you select yes. And that will get us down to here. And with all these screenshots, that's why the lab's 21 pages, because there's a lot of screenshots. Finish partitioning, write yes. Okay. The next thing it's going to ask us is about a network mirror. And we're going to say no. So we're almost done with Kali. Okay. Has everybody got that installing? I hope so. Right, and this is copying a lot of disk information to the disk, so it can take a couple of minutes, but we got time. We'll just watch it. So the next thing that will come up will be information about the mirror, and we're going to say don't use a network mirror. All right. And what I found is it takes forever to get to about 30%, and then it takes no time at all to get past 30%. So here's the slow part, and then it kind of goes a little quicker on the second half, or second 2/3. I see it's picking up some speed now. Hopefully yours is too. All right, so everybody's installing Kali right now, right? I hope so. No, the host name is Kali. The domain name is cnet.lab. All right, so while that finishes up, I'm going to do a little multitasking here. So I'm going to go to my Windows 10 machine, Windows 10-1, and I want to go into the settings. So right-click Settings, and on this network, I want to make sure it's on that Intel network. If it's probably on LAN A from last week, change that to Intel, okay? And if you want, you can start that up. We don't need it right now, but we'll come back to that. All right. So now I'm going back into Kali. And this is going to say, use a network mirror. Hit no on that. And then it will finish the install. Then the next thing it's going to talk about is the bootloader. And we wanted to use Grub, which is the standard bootloader for Ubuntu. All right, it's doing its thing. Okay, there it goes. Installing the Grub bootloader, and it's going to ask us if we want to use it. We're going to say yes. So install the Grub bootloader, yes. I'll hit yes. Finish the installation and reboot. Okay, what's the question on Win 10-1? Just make sure, Louis, go to, yeah, change the network, go to the settings, change the network, make sure it's on your Intel, whatever adapter yours is. You should have LAN A, LAN B, and then at the Intel, make sure it's on the Intel network, okay? Okay, then this one says, installation is complete. It's time to boot into your new OS. Continue. So it's getting rid of whatever live packages it had in there. Let that finish up. All right, just like all installs, there's a lot of hurry up and wait, a lot of twiddle your thumbs. All right, so now it's going to reboot. It says welcome to Grub. It will auto boot that in 3 seconds. And once that's done, we're going to log on to our Kali Linux. Easy peasy. All right, Luis, can you share your screen? Okay. So click on other. Username we're going to use is root. Password is our CNET. 21 exclamation point. And well, I'll leave that there for everybody else can get to that point. Yeah, go ahead. I'm done sharing, so you can share now, Luis. All right, so here, click on the stop. Here, let me get remote control. Okay, so we're going to stop this or turn off. Then we have to go media, DVD drive, insert disk, Kali, then start. Then go, yeah, go to live or install. There you go. Now you're ready to roll. All right. Anybody else having problems getting started? No? All right. So once you have your Kali Linux started, one of the things you're going to want to do is get the IP address. So you can do ifconfig, and the IP address you're interested in is this 10.29. Whatever it is. Okay. So you might write that down or put it in a note somewhere, because the next thing we're going to do is do a scan of our entire network. So we are going to scan the network. So get your IP address. Like here's mine, ifconfig. You can also do IP add, and it'll tell you the same thing. And you want this one on the 10.29.72. Whatever. Now mine is 65. Yours will be another number. But once you get that, you can close that terminal. And then the next thing we want to do is that Zen map. Now you can type it on from the terminal. You can also go into Kali Linux and under one of these, there's the Zen map. Yeah, it's easier just to type the Zen map from there. I mean, I'm not a super comfortable with the the icons there. All right, and then just put in 10.29.0/24. So that's just telling our Zen map to do a scan of everything on our network. Okay, and then hit scan and then wait for it to finish, and it will, when it's finished, it will look like this one, where it will show that it's done, right? Did I close Zen map? Yeah, okay, well, I closed it, but you saw what that looked like earlier. Okay, so now you're at this point. So I want you to do a Zen map and leave the Zen map on intent scan and click done. And it's going to take a little bit of time. So make sure, read at the very bottom where it says Nmap done. And then scroll down on the left side and find the OS hosts that say hack me. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So I want you to tell me the IP addresses of the hack me computers, the operating system, which is all in ZenMap, and then the well-known ports that are open. So tell me which ports are open. Okay. You should see that all of those ports, all these XP machines, have an open port on 3389. All right. We'll now run Metasploit to get the encrypted Windows XP SAM password. Metasploit is a computer security. Okay. So once you're at this point, is anybody at step 1 on where I'm at on the lab? You found the Windows XP machines already? Or are you still running ZenMap? Is your scan still going? Still on the scan, okay. All right, so ZenMap, I'm gonna do a scan too. And we leave it on intent scan and hit scan. And I always like to make that bigger. And then I always like to pull this window open. So I can see a little bit more there. Right? So while that's running, let's take a look at this. And again, make sure you know your machine's IP address. So I'm .65. Okay. Because I'm going to need to find my victim's IP. So what you're going to have to do, and this is going to be a little interesting. And when we're in the classroom, this gets really fun because there are 5 Windows XP machines that are called Hack Me. And right now there are 12 of us in this lab. So that means there's not enough. You're going to have to pick one and hack it before someone else hacks it. So it's a little time sensitive here. So, but if we play nice together, it won't be so bad. So we're letting this scan. Now, it doesn't say finish, so don't start clicking and get, if you start clicking all over, you're not going to see nothing. You'll be like, I don't see nothing because it's not done yet. Give it time. Once this fills in over here, scroll down until you see the Hack Me computers and then fill in that table, right? This table here. Okay. So some of these get a timeout because it's looking on the network and not finding anything yet. So we got to give it some time. Okay. So once we get that, now notice the case sensitivity here. So MSF console is lowercase. This is all lowercase. Our host is uppercase. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this. So before anyone else starts scanning their network, let me show you this real quick. Okay. So we'll let Nmap go. I should have left that one up. Because then I'd be ahead of you. Okay. Okay, an Nmap, it always looks like it's done, but it's not. So you got to just be patient here, which is hard to do when the video's recording. There it goes. Now it says Nmap is done. All right, so I'm going to come down here. And if you're done, wait a second. So I'm going to do .63. Okay, so my machine is that I'm going to attack is 63. So now I'm going to come into the lab. I'm going to type NSF console. Okay, that's going to launch the Metasploit interpreter. And I'm going to use exploit Windows SMB MS. Now, since this is Linux, I can take advantage of and exploit Windows tab SMB, and then I want MS08 tab and net API. Okay, that's good. Hit enter. And then I need to set the remote host. So I'm going to say set our host, and that is 10.29.72. I'm going to attack 63. So if any of you are doing this, don't do 63. Then I'm going to do set local host, and that's the IP address of your server, your Kali server, which mine is 65. And then I need to tell it you set payload Windows and I want Minerpreter. And notice that tab completion is very helpful. And then I want to do reverse TCP. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to type exploit. So what this is going to do is it's going to go across the network and attack that machine or grab some information off the machine. So it doesn't really give me anything yet, but now I'm going to type help and hash dump. All right, so now I have the hash dump, and a hash dump's a raw file, a raw look at the user information contained in the SAM database. So on your screen, select the line that says insecure. So here is the line that says insecure. So you see how I have that? Copy everything down to the double colons. So select and then type edit, copy. Then we're going to open another window. We're going to type gedit. Or click on accessories gedit and paste the line. So I'm gonna go, let me close this. So I'm gonna go applications, accessories, gedit, and I want to paste that line. And then I want to save this in my root, and I want to call it password. Okay. So I click save, and then I can close that. Okay, so now I'm here. I exit out of gedit. Now open another terminal and type john/root/password -- format equals xt. So here I have a new terminal. John. And I want to do, the file I want to use John on is root password, and then -- format equals nt. Equals nt. And it got that. And then I want to do -show, nt-show. Oh. NT space -- okay. And on that screen, you will see the password. Okay. So that just gave me my password. You see the password. Write that password. Type it in the system there. And then the next thing we're going to do is try to remote desktop into it. So in another window, if we type our desktop, so now I'm going to remote into that machine, that Windows XP machine, using remote desktop. And the username is insecure. You'll have to crack the password. If it says someone else is already logged on, click yes, kick them off. And that's where if someone is in it, you're going to get kicked off. And if you're trying to get in it and someone kicks you off, you're going to have to try again. It's not super important that you log into Windows XP, but it is important that you get to this point. Okay. So there it goes. That logged in. You can see I'm logged in. I'm insecure and I'm on the machine. So if I do, I'm in Hack Me. So that was successful. So then when you're done, just log off. That way someone else can get into it. And then just close this. It doesn't close it in there. Okay. So that gets you through this part. All right. So I'm just gonna go through some of the rest of the lab and make sure that we're good to go here. So now I need to start up my, so we're done with Kali for a second, but I need to start Windows 10.1. And again, make sure it's on the Intel network, not LAN A, not LAN B. Okay, so first thing I want to do is turn off the firewall in Windows 10. And then I'm going to go to Canvas and go grab that KF sensor file. So we're going to have to log in here. Okay, is everybody doing okay? Anybody get the password, the hash dump of the password? Don't put the password anywhere where anyone else can see it. Let them learn that. So CNET 2021 exclamation point. Okay, so now I want to open Edge. Okay, then go to the portal, log in. You probably learned, don't hit that sign in twice or you get kicked out. Go to our course. CNET58. Go to the modules. Put on a week 12. And download this kfsensor.msi. Download kfsensor and save it. All right, so the next thing you want to do, save the file to the desktop and install it using the R host. You have to pick one of those Windows XP machines. So you put in the command is set R host and then the IP address of one of the Windows XP machines. So right after R host, put space 10.29.72. And then pick one of these ones up here that it says hack me. One of those are the ones you want to pick. If it fails to validate, type exit out of all of that and then rerun the Metasploit console. So you might have start over, because if they get out of sequence, it gets all screwed up. Okay, so now I have this downloaded. So now I'm going to go into this file, which is true. And I'm going to run that and install it. All right, and I can close out of Edge. And then once that's running, you'll see your KF sensor, which I have installed here. Okay, and you want to make sure you run that as administrator. So if you click on start and then right click on KF sensor, more, run as administrator. Oh yeah, no parentheses. Yeah, just put the numbers straight in. Okay, then run this. And if you see this WinPCAP, just hit OK on that. All right. Now make sure your firewall's off. So if I go firewall, I can come into Windows Defender and make sure all of these are turned off. So if they're on, just click over here, turn Windows Defender firewall on or off. On Kali Linux, open a terminal and type IP add. So here's Kali. Let me go into it and I'll show you. I typed that. All right, so just Frankie, if you just type ifconfig. And my caps lock is stuck on. Yeah, it will say that. You can also get it if you it doesn't show anything there. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's for each 0. So it should be 10.29.72. something. Do you see it now, Frankie? Hopefully you do. All right, so then back on Windows XP, or Windows 10, and this is for this part with the KF sensor. If you see a wizard, just hit next, and it finishes real quick. Leave those default ports; those ones will leave on. And click on Finish. Click OK for the WinPCAP. It should see something like this where no alerts. So then if we go back to Kali Linux and run that scan again, when it finishes on the Windows 10 -1 host, so you're going to have to find your Windows 10-1 host based on the IP address. So we're going to need to get our IP address of our Windows 10 machine too. So if we go IP config here, and you'll need this because when you scan it, look for that IP address. Okay. So now we're down here. Okay, back on Kali, click on the host details tab. How many ports are open? How many ports are closed? How many were scanned? And then go back to Windows 10.1's VM, and you'll see that the alert has been set off. And on the alert, you'll notice that some of them are in this mauve purple color. Those are the ones I want you to tell me about. So fill this table out. Tell me the protocol, the sensor port, and the name. So here's the protocol, the sensor port, and the name, only for the ones that are in this mauve purple color. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those total. Or there's more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So just fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just do the top 10, the first 10 that you find there. Okay, yours may only have 10. I ran the scan twice, so I have it. Mine's a little bit different. Okay, then the last thing we're going to do is use Nikto and to find other vulnerabilities in our honeypot. So now we're going to do a scan, and I want you to tell me what the vulnerability is. So back on Kali, before we do that, go back to your honeypot. So we're going to come back over here, and we're going to reset or restart the server. So I click the yellow thing there. It's going to restart the server. Actually, I'm going to close that and rerun it. So we're going to restart KF scan or KF sensor. We'll stop it and then start it. Okay, and then go back over to your Kali, and then you're going to type in another terminal window, type Nikto-H, and then the 10.29.72. Whatever the IP address is of your Windows machine. Okay. Now, here's where it's going to get a little hairy, I guess is the right word. Notice that this thing keeps hitting all these scans. That's because you're not the only one scanning this network. Other people are scanning at the same time. So you're going to see duplicates in here, right? IIS, HTTPS, IIS, HTTPS, right? There's different people scanning the same network at the same time. So there's only 10 unique ones here. And then when you do NICTO, there will be one different than what is scanned currently. Okay. So we may need to, so there's only one reddish purple alarm now. If you have more than one, that means someone else is scanning the network at the same time. So just pick out the one that's different there. And if you can't get that part, look for something that says IIS 10 on it. And that's the one that should go in there. And then that's it for today's lab. So there's no screenshots, there's nothing. There's just a couple of tables that you have to fill in. And then you have to write down the password that you find. What is the password? And then try to remote desktop and tell me if it was successful. All right. Any questions on what we're doing in the lab? Most of you are probably in a spot where you've hacked the Windows XP by now. If not, I know you'll get there fairly shortly. All right. Any questions or comments on that? All right, I'm gonna stop the recording because we kind of showed you everything, and then I'll let you work on it.